What's up? Welcome to another episode of Expansion Pack. I'm your host, DNF Man. I'm sorry to keep y'all waiting so long. I had to my bad. It's like super choppy. Give me a second. All right, that should be much better. Yeah, sorry to keep y'all waiting so long. I actually had to. It's Monday for real. I had to make sure everything was set up, everything was connected, hooked up, all the streams was running in every way I wanted them to. So that took a little bit longer than I wanted to. So I'm gonna get straight into y'all motivation for the day, motivation for my men's out there. Motivation for men. Hold on, wait. For sons. Yeah, let's look. We gonna be specific today. Well, specific from now on. Have you ever felt struck, broken, or stuck? Let's see. Let's see what Matthew McConaughey got to say. Oh, this is just short. Is it? Yeah, it's a short. I don't want to see it short. All right, let's get it.
I got offered a job to become a hospital administrator. 2-year program, $75,000 job. And right before I took the job, my daddy called me on the phone.
I think we heard this one.
Let me tell you about my daddy.
Yeah, we heard this one. We heard that one. Hold on. I don't want to hear this one either. Can't listen to Ted. I don't want to hear this one. Yeah, I'm on. All right, there we go. You probably just got to refresh.
I'm going to talk to you about some things I've learned in my journey. Most from experience, some of them I heard in passing. Many of them I'm still practicing, but all of them I do believe are true. Now, they may be truths to me, but don't think that that makes them mine, because you cannot own a truth. So please think of these as signposts, approaches, paradigms.
Let me know if audio is good.
Some science for satisfaction. They're yours to steal, they're yours to share, liken to your own lives, to personally apply in your own lives, in your own way, should you choose to. So, here we go. Unbelievable is the stupidest word in the dictionary. It should never come out of our mouths. Think about it. To say, oh wow, what an unbelievable play. It was an unbelievable book, an unbelievable film, an unbelievable act of courage. Really? It may be spectacular, it may be phenomenal, most excellent or outstanding, but unbelievable? Nah. Give others and yourself more credit. It just happened. You witnessed it. You just did it. Believe it. Give your obstacles credit.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Once you do find your frequency on something, is go forward if you're a non-tyrant and don't ask permission. And that's the not giving a damn part. I've found that the world will actually acquiesce and go, yeah, I'll give you a green light on that. If you actually go forward and mean it, like you're gonna do it by hook or by crook and not ask permission.
Life is not easy. It is not. Don't try to make it that way. Life's not fair. It never was. It isn't now, and it won't ever be. Do not fall into the trap, the entitlement trap of feeling like you're a victim. You are not. Get over it. Get on it. And yes, most things are more rewarding when you break a sweat to get them.
Yes, sir.
Sit here in that discomfort long enough to go, okay, until you come out the other side to go, all right, I'm good with me again. I don't want to leave a place I traveled to until I get to the point of going, I could live here. This could be my existence. And as soon as I get to that point, then I'm like, okay, you can go.
Hey, what up,
Now
Davey?
It's the same
My
thing in the
boy,
personal
Matt
journey.
McConaughey, his book is
Stick
dope
with it
too.
till you get through the discomfortable
I think he was telling me that.
You know what?
Hold on, I gotta
can
pause
spend
this. Bruh, it's good to see you in here, Davey, because just so happened, DGTA, the YouTube channel, the videos was going under private, and I'm like, oh my God, the last couple episodes was private and nobody saw them. And I was wondering why I couldn't see it, and I'm thinking there's something wrong with the software. Good to see you back, D-Way. Let's go.
with myself. I could do this. I could do this forever. Well, then it's okay to go to re-engage, pick up your phone, go see your friends, go have a drink, what have you, go look for those things that are the other relationships in life. But hopefully not until. There's great value in not doing that until you go, I'm good with me and me for right now.
So, to any of us, whatever those things are, whatever it is we look up to, whatever it is we look forward to, and whoever it is we're chasing, to that I say amen. To that I say, all right, all right, all right.
That's my guy.
Yeah, I say, just keep living, huh? Thank you. See, happiness
give you about 2 more minutes of this.
Emotional response to an outcome. If I win, I will be happy. If I don't, I won't. It's an if-then, cause and effect, quid pro quo standard that we cannot sustain because we immediately raise it every time we attain it. See, happiness demands a certain outcome. It is result reliant. And I say, if happiness is what you're after, then you're going to be let down frequently, and you're going to be unhappy much of your time. Joy, though, joy is a different thing. It's something else. Joy is not a choice. It's not a response to some result. It's a constant. Joy is the feeling that we have from doing what we are fashioned to do. It is just as important where we are not as it is where we are. Look, the first step that leads to our identity in life is usually not, I know who I am. I know who I am. That's not the first step. The first step's usually, I know who I am not.
I was wondering. Right, exactly, bro.
Defining ourselves by what we are not.
That's what happened, bro. That's
the
what
first
happened.
step that leads us to really knowing who we are. South of New Orleans a few years ago, and I went to a voodoo shop, and they had this wooden partition against the wall with these columns, and in these columns were all these vials of these magic potions, right? And the headings above each potion defining what they would give you were things like fertility, health, family, legal help, energy, forgiveness, money. Guess which column was empty? Money. Let's admit it. Money is king today. It's what makes the world go round. It is success. The more we have, the more successful we are, right? Now, I would argue that our cultural values have even been financialized. Humility is not vogue anymore. It's too passive. To get rich quick on the internet, rich is 15 minutes of fame world that we live in, and we see it every day. But we all want to succeed, right? So the question that we got to ask ourselves is what success is to us, what success is to you. Is it more money? That's fine. I got nothing against money. I don't. Maybe it's a healthy family. Maybe it's a happy marriage. Maybe it's to help others, to be famous, to be spiritually sound. leave the world a little bit better place than you found it. Continue to ask yourself that question. Now, your answer may change over time, and that's fine. But do yourself this favor. Whatever your answer is, don't choose anything that will jeopardize your soul.
Yes, sir.
Prioritize who you are, who you want to be, and don't spend time with anything that antagonizes your character.
Yes, sir. Right. Right, because then, hey, what's good, Beast 28? Good to see you out there in the chat. Hope everybody feeling good, ready to get it today. So that last piece really resonated because, you know, you'll come up against that wall, and that wall will be that Kool-Aid. Be like, you gotta kind of tone it down or change it up, man. It's just not really fitting into what we got going on over here. So yeah, but I got something I want us to start off by listening to, and it's gonna start our message for today. So what we looking into today is the work to be done. We talk about the work to be done. So I don't want to be vague about this one. Heading into the future, let's just say tomorrow, the next day, the year ahead, the next years ahead, we can look and say that where we came from is not where we at right now. People believe in things a little bit more that weren't frontline or mainstream. People are supporting themselves a little bit more than they are relying on, let's just say, the systems that are in place. Like, small example, I see my mom. She may go out into her garden that has grapes in it. You see what I'm saying? And we eating grapes like never before. And that is something that it's a small change, but it's humongous when them grapes come in. People are just doing things differently, and it feels like a different time. I don't know about y'all, but I just kind of really shuffled into adulthood. Let's just say I started at 25, so I'm about 11 years in. All right. And I'm talking about like where you just put take all of the blinders off that you a kid and you just an adult. I'm 11 years into that. And so for me, the world is still brand new. Like, it's still a lot left to be done, a lot I want to do. But I'm still also getting set into a lot of patterns, a lot of ways where I'm like, oh man, this is just how it is. And I'm not going to tell you that's a bad thing, because it is how it is, and those patterns work. If you wanted to make a pizza box, I used to work at the pizza factory. We all probably done worked in some form of a assembly line fashion. If you want to make that box, that thing, over and over and over again, it is steps to the process. So some things don't really need to change. They just maybe need to be upgraded or maintained. Now that was a lot to put on y'all mind, but that is what we talking about here, the work to be done. Not the work you doing right now, and I ain't talking about your job, but I'm talking about you personally, as far as growth, as far as your family, as far as anything that you want to get. Not what you got, anything you want to get, because there's still work to be done for that. All right, so y'all listen to this real quick. And it's gonna help you to figure out a little bit of a better way to get it. Check it out. Hope y'all like that. Oh, and Davey, just to answer your question, I did take the first 2 weeks of January off, so I didn't come back until the 19th, which was last week. But that whole week of episodes, I gotta go back into my actual YouTube studio and take them off of private. So, but I'm glad y'all got that message. Hey, what's up, Zanita67? Good to see you out there. Hey, family, I found that. Yes, me too. Yeah, 25 was a changing year too. For you too, right? Yeah, so, and now we going forward, and it's like, it's not, I can go do anything I want to as far as taking care of myself. You see what I'm saying? Whereas when you were a minor or younger, you might have put that block and say, I'm just too young to do that. All right, now let's go. Y'all listen carefully now, okay? I want y'all to hear this.
This is how I'd learn AI in 2026
Because
if I
we
wanted
did.
a fresh start at 50. Watch this.
Because back I think maybe about 10 years ago for me, listening to others and maybe seeing how they do it was a major influence on me. It ain't no more. Not as much if it's not helping to fuel what I want to do or getting me towards where I want to go. Y'all listen up.
Rollo May, a distinguished psychiatrist, wrote a wonderful book called Man's Search for Himself. And in this book he says, the opposite of courage in our society is not cowardice, it is conformity. The opposite of courage in our society is not cowardice, it is conformity. And there you have the trouble today. Conformity. People acting like everyone else. Without knowing why, without knowing where they're going. Now think of it. In America right now, there are over 14 million people 65 years of age and over. And about 13 million of these 14 million are broke.
Let me know if y'all can't hear.
They're dependent on someone else for life's necessities. Now we learn to read by the time we're 7. We learn to make a living by the time we're 25. And yet by the time we're 65, we haven't learned how to become financially independent in the richest land that has ever been known.
Why?
We conform. We conform. We conform. The opposite of courage in our society is not cowardice. It is conformity. The opposite of courage in our society is not cowardice. It is conformity. And the trouble is that we're acting like the wrong percentage group, the 95% who don't succeed. Now, why do these people conform? Well, they don't know, really. These people believe that their lives are shaped by circumstances, by things that happen to them, by exterior forces. They're outer-directed people. A survey was made one time that covered a lot of men, working men, and these men were asked this question. Why do you work? Why do you get up in the morning? 19 out of 20 had no idea. If you ask them, they'll say everyone goes to work in the morning. And that's the reason they do it. Because everyone else is doing it. The opposite of courage in our society is not cowardice. It is conformity. The opposite of courage in our society is not cowardice. It is conformity.
Is this what they did to you? Is this how they tried to break you till they got what they were after? In your heads must still be the remnant of a brain. In your hearts must still be the desire to be a human being again.
Why? We conform. We conform. We conform. 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 Why? We conform.
Yeah, I bet, Malik. I bet Beast 28. So, I hope y'all enjoyed that. Actually, I hope y'all really enjoyed that, because that right there is something that it's not what I put on when I just want to bust a flow or hear a tight rap. It's something when I need to balance or to focus my efforts. And the reason why is because imagine walking through the day. Turn it down just a little bit, L. Imagine walking through your whole entire day unsure. And the only bit of belief or assuredness that you do have, I hope I'm using that right, is what you are hearing, feeling, seeing, experiencing inside. That's the only assuredness you have. Imagine that. That right there, as the song says, would be your downfall. You may not feel your instincts are reliable. You may not feel like you are in control. And so you may conform to what the situation calls for or what someone else is asking you to do. And that right there is kind of taking your own personal, like, bulldozer, sledgehammer, putting it down and going and knocking somebody else's wall out. You know what I'm saying? And that's not getting the work done for yourself. Now, I'm going to say this about me. My big thing right now, like from yesterday was Sunday, from yesterday to right now and beyond, and even before, and beyond, spending time quietly, breathing, and thinking is the most fundamentally sound and majorly it's the biggest thing that's gonna grow me right now. I'm trying to find a word. It's the biggest thing that's gonna grow me right now. Sitting silently and breathing and thinking. So the reason why, I'm gonna play a video for y'all that kind of can explain what I'm saying to y'all a little bit better, but the reason why that is the most profound exercise or thing I can do to help my growth is I don't need action that is physical, tangible, or quantifiable in the physical world to enact the change I want to happen in the physical world. Now, let me say that again. I ain't got to touch nothing. I ain't even got to move to get the results that I want here in this physical world. The biggest impact comes from just my way of thinking, my mindset, and my frequency. Now, I'm going to play a video, like I said, to kind of help y'all, help that to sit with y'all well. But I'm going to give you an example first. You walk into a room with a stain on your shirt. Oh my gosh, the stain. You know what I'm saying? You like, dang, everybody can see the stain. Your thought is focused on the stain. So let's take the word thought and turn it to eye or vision. I didn't want to give you two examples, but your vision. Let's just say vision. Your vision is on the stain. Everybody else's vision ain't on that stain, so they probably don't even see it. But your vision is on the stain. And since that is the case, everything is gonna be about the stain on your shirt. So you just affected your whole situation, day, and the outcomes or results you might receive if you wasn't focused on the stain. Hold on, y'all. Give me 1 second. All right, I gotta call you right back. All right, so I'm gonna play y'all a video to kind of explain what I mean. Because what I'm saying is it's not exactly like the example I gave, but it is in a way. Our thoughts affect so many things. So thoughts affect. Hold on, wait. Observer effect. Let me give y'all this real quick, because this is the most fundamental. Like, this is a experiment that has been worked on for a long time, even if you've never heard of it. Okay. All right. Let's go.
So you're already using ChatGPT.
This is the best way I can explain it to you without it sounding like
you're not making any money.
I'm just
with
making
it.
stuff up.
And I'll tell you right.
There we go.
When you observe something in the world, from a tree to a school bus to a bird, you know that regardless of where and when you observe the object, it will remain the same. However, what if I told you that the time and manner in which you looked at a bird would affect its appearance? That might sound absurd, but absurdity is to be expected when it comes to the quantum realm. The field of quantum mechanics is primarily founded on three pillars, beginning with quantized properties. Quantized properties give the position, speed, color, and other properties of a particle that can only occur in set amounts of time and instants. This is in direct contrast to the field of classical mechanics, wherein everything happens in a smooth and continuous spectrum. The second pillar of quantum mechanics refers to the particle nature of light. At first, the notion that light could behave and be classed as a particle was disbelieved, as it ran against the well-established principle of light's wave-like nature. However, the particle nature of light introduced a fundamental unit representing tiny energy packets, known as quanta. The third and final fundamental pillar of quantum mechanics is the wave nature of matter. The wave-like nature of matter was independently proposed by two scientists around the same time, despite being oblivious of each other's work. Louis de Broglie and Erwin Schrödinger used two fundamentally different mathematical approaches to prove this wave-like characteristic.
Pause. Because I know y'all probably don't have the background that I have in science. When I was in college studying Schrödinger's equation, and yes, I did study it, boy, I was like that. I was like, I don't understand it. You ever had something that you can, like, you really, really, really want to know, and it's right here, but you just don't understand it? That was this. I didn't go to school for physics just because I just wanted to do that. I really, 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 really want to still to this day to understand. And I wanted to understand, but when it was put in front of me, I was like, oh my God, I hear what y'all saying. This explains, but can we just break it down and how we got there? Because what I'm seeing in my actual reality is not being, I don't see that, what is being described, but we do see it. So let me back up. I'm sorry. Got ahead of myself, brainiac.
Matter. When a quantum observer is watching, quantum mechanics states that particles can behave as waves. When behaving as waves, electrons can simultaneously pass through several openings in a barrier and then meet again on the other side, a phenomenon known as interference. However, this can only occur when no one is observing it. Once an observer begins to watch the particles going through the opening, the obtained image changes dramatically. If a particle can be seen going through one opening, it is clear that it did not go through the other opening. In other words, when under observation, electrons are forced to behave like particles instead of waves. Thus, the mere act of observation affects the experimental findings.
Now, did y'all see that? If a tree fall in the forest and you was there, it made a sound. If you wasn't there, it ain't make no sound. Because you said so. You the one, if you said it made a sound, it made a sound. Come up with some proof. And as soon as you put the fact that you have to come up with proof in there, that changes the whole experiment. Basically, when you add yourself into this world, it changes the world. It's not like you're watching a world that wouldn't change without. The world changes just because you're in it.
To demonstrate this phenomena, researchers built a tiny device, less than 1 micron in size, possessing a barrier with 2 openings. They then sent a current of electrons towards the barrier. The observer in this experiment was a tiny electron detector that could spot the presence of passing electrons. The very presence of the detector observer near one of the openings caused changes in the interference pattern of the electron waves passing through the openings of the barrier.
Run it back, because I gotta stop texting. I want to hear this.
And sent a current of electrons towards the barrier, a barrier with 2 openings. They then sent a current of electrons towards the barrier. The observer in this experiment was a tiny electron detector that could spot the presence of passing electrons. The very presence of the detector observer near one of the openings caused changes in the interference pattern of the electron waves passing through the openings of the barrier. When the observer's capacity to detect electrons increased, or when the level of the observation went up, the interference weakened. When its capacity to detect electrons was reduced, the interference increased. Thus, by controlling the properties of the quantum observer, scientists managed to control its influence on the electron's behavior.
Wow.
The observer effect may be hard to wrap your head around, but it's a key aspect of
So,
understanding.
so look at this picture, y'all. So look, I want to show y'all this picture. Where did it go? Look. So let me show y'all this picture. This is what we're saying in this experiment. Dang, I can't zoom in like I want to. If you can see this picture, hey, what up, Stacy? How you feeling today? So if you can see this picture, the monkey, when the monkey ain't looking at the slit or looking at the experiment, this is the interference pattern that it gets. Okay, let me put it on full screen. Okay, now remember, I'm going somewhere with this. We ain't just talking science interference patterns. I'm giving y'all a lot of good understanding of how it works when you just change the way you think. So, or in this case, what you're looking at, what your vision is on, your attention. When the monkey is not looking, this is the interference pattern. They shooting electrons. That's good, Stacy. They shooting electrons through these two little slits, okay? And they're landing on this screen back here. When the observer is not looking, this is the interference. Shut the door. Interference pattern that it gets. As soon as the observer looks, they both go through the slits this way. So what it's saying is that when the observer is not looking, the electrons behave in a wave-like function, which causes them to go through the barrier like it's not even there, in ways like it's not even there. But when the observer is looking, electrons only go through these two slits. Now, let me bring my point home on this. There's work to be done. Get your jacket. Go ahead, get your jacket on and everything. There's work to be done. And the work to be done is by you. Now, my example was, hey, my most fundamental way to grow is to sit quietly with myself and observe my thoughts, my feelings, and myself in general, and my response to the world. All right? That right there is changing my interference pattern. Using this theory right here, maybe theoretically, let's say this is option one. This first slit is what I want to happen, option one. And then the second one is option two. All right, I can get it to narrow it down to these two if I just observe my thoughts, my electrons. If I'm not, it might end up as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different possibilities. So let's say you got something major coming up. It pays off, it's beneficial to you to stop for a second and visualize and think about how you might want it to come out or turn out. Now, shut the door, Ella. All right, now, let's see this. Because he always got it. He always got it for me. I'm going to leave y'all watching this real quick and I got to do a double check on something. But y'all can watch as I'm moving around. I don't want to get no guided meditation. Nah, I just want to hear him talk. All right, come here. I'm gonna walk Ella out. I got it, Mom. She coming. And I'm gonna need you to walk her out, but I'm about to tell her. I gotta tell her see you later.
Non-negotiable requirement for businesses.
Hold on, Elle, before you leave out of here. All right, y'all listen to this real quick.
Emotions, and you settle it back down into the present moment. You're telling the body it's no longer the mind, that you're the mind, and now your will is getting greater than the program. And if you keep doing this over and over again, over and over again, over and over again, just like training a stallion or a dog, it's just gonna say, I'm gonna sit. And the moment that happens, and the body's no longer the mind, when it finally surrenders, there's a liberation of energy. We go from particle to wave, from matter to energy, and we free ourselves from the chains of those emotions that keep us in the familiar past. And we've seen this thousands of times. In fact, we can actually predict it now on a brain scan. But if you start understanding what you're doing and why you're doing it, and the stronger the emotion you feel, the more you're going to pay attention to the picture in your mind. You begin to remember your future. You are branding that circuitry in your brain, and now you're emotionally conditioning your body into the future. Now, here's the side effect of that. If you can do that properly and become familiar with those states of mind and body, and you get up feeling like your future has already happened, I guarantee you're going to stop looking for it. The work is to be able to maintain that modified state of mind and body your entire day. You got to be able to sustain that state independent of your coworkers, independent of your boss, independent of your ex, independent of your finances, independent of the traffic. And if you're able to do that, you will begin to see the feedback in your life. If you woke up every morning and you truly made time to think like this: if my personality creates my personal reality, and my personality is made of how I think, how I act, and how I feel. If I want to create a new personal reality, a new life, I'm going to have to change my personality. And most people try to create a new reality, a new personal reality, as the same personality, and it doesn't work. We literally have to become someone else. So if you said, okay, let me not default and go unconscious to that 95% of who I am that's programmed. Let me become so conscious of the way I think. Let me become so aware of how I'm going to act today. Let me decide what emotions keep me connected to my past and bring me to a lower level of energy. Let me not go unconscious. If a belief is just a thought I keep thinking over and over again, what thoughts do I want to fire and wire in my brain? And with attention and with intention, to begin to familiarize yourself with a new way of thinking. Meditation means to become familiar with. If you keep firing and wiring those circuits, you're going to begin to install the hardware. Repeat it enough times and it becomes a software program. That could be the new voice in your head that says, I can, it is possible. People, when they have an event, what they do is they keep recalling the event because the emotions of stress hormones, the survival emotions, are saying, pay attention to what happened because you want to be prepared if it happens again. Turns out most people spend 70% of their life living in survival and living in stress. So they're always anticipating the worst case scenario based on a past experience. And they're literally, out of the infinite potentials in the quantum field, they're selecting the worst possible outcome.
I just said that. And see, I just said that.
And living in stress. So they're always anticipating the worst case scenario based on a past experience. And they're literally, out of the infinite potentials in the quantum field, they're selecting the worst possible outcome and they're beginning to emotionally embrace it with fear. And they're conditioning their body into a state of fear. Do that enough times, body has a panic attack without you. You can't even predict it because it's programmed subconsciously. So then you say to the person, why are you this way? And they'll say, I am this way because of this event that happened to me 15 or 20 years ago. And what that means from a biological standpoint is that they haven't been able to change since that event. So then the emotions from the experience tend to give the body and the brain a rush of energy. So people become addicted to the rush of those emotions, and they use the problems and conditions in their life to reaffirm their limitation, so at least they can feel something. So now when it comes time to change, you say to the person, why are you this way? Well, every time they recall the event, they're producing the same chemistry in their brain and body as if the event is occurring, firing and wiring the same circuits and sending the same emotional signature to the body. Well, what's the relevance behind that? Well, your body is the unconscious mind. It doesn't know the difference between the experience that's creating the emotion and the emotion that you're creating by thought alone. So the body's believing is living in the same past experience 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And so then when those emotions influence certain thoughts, and they do, and then those thoughts create the same emotions, and those same emotions influence the same thoughts, now the entire person's state of being is in the past. So then the hardest part about change is not making the same choices you did the day before, period. And the moment you decide to make a different choice, get ready because it's going to feel uncomfortable.
So, in the last 15 minutes, we have gone over just a small practice that you can do to influence the outcome of your situation. Now, I'm not telling you that if you're in a bad or dire straits that this gonna work and it's just gonna miraculously pan out. I'm not telling you that that's gonna happen, and I'm not telling you that won't happen. What I am telling you is that we have given so many years to this physical world. Some of us know people that are in their 80s. Some of us know people that are in their 60s or reaching 60. That is a lot of years to give to this physical world and never take the time to spend in your mental world or in a spiritual world. You know, we're going to come back here regardless. But I think that true worship begins in here. In here. You could be shouting, you could be stomping, you could be praising in here. In different ways that, hey, so that's just me though. That's just me. I don't think I could spend another 30 years without some form of understanding of what is going on internally. And I'm not talking about not drinking enough water and now my urine is dark. That's like surface level. What I mean is there are audible frequencies that you don't tune into. There are visual stimuli that you pay no attention to. There are things you feel that you don't know what they are and don't care. That right there, I can't live in. Me personally, I can't live in for 30 years. Now, whether another 30 years. Now, whether I share my findings with the public at large, that's between y'all. That's on y'all. Me, personal experience helps me grow. I don't need to discuss with nobody but me. So I encourage you all to do the same. Now, I'm going to play something else. We coming up on our last little 4 minutes of the day. So I'm going to play something else that I want y'all to hear that'll give you some empowerment once again. And it's not me. It's not me saying this stuff. But it is something that we all need to hear. So let me see. Here we go. I don't know if they'll have a cool video again, but at least we can hear it. Oh, they got a video too. Let's go. Let me put y'all on game.
Tasha believes confidence comes with a number, steps, sleep, and how many times her wife.
I'd like to tell you about the strangest secret in the world. In the world. In the world. Not long ago, Albert Schweitzer, the great doctor, Nobel Prize winner, was being interviewed in London. And a reporter asked him, "Doctor, what's wrong with men today?" The great doctor was silent a moment, and then he said, "Men simply don't think." And it's about this that I want to talk with you. We live today in a golden age. This is an era that man has looked forward, dreamed of, and worked toward for thousands of years. But since it's here, we pretty well take it for granted. We in America are particularly fortunate to live in the richest land that ever existed on the face of the earth. A land of abundant opportunity for everyone. But do you know what happens? I'd like to tell you about the strangest secret in the world. In the world. In the world. I'd like to tell you about the strangest secret in the world. In the world. In the world. Let's take 100 men who start even at the age of 25. Do you have any idea what will happen to those men by the time they're 65? These 100 men who all start even at the age of 25 believe they're going to be successful. If you asked any one of these men if he wanted to be a success, he'd tell you that he did. And you'd notice that he was eager toward life. That there was a certain sparkle to his eye, an erectness to his carriage, and life seemed like a pretty interesting adventure to him. But by the time they're 65, 1 will be rich. 4 will be financially independent. 5 will still be working. 54 will be broke. Now think a moment. Out of the 100, only 5 make the grade. Why do so many fail? What has happened to the sparkle that was there when they were 25? What's become of the dreams, the hopes, the plans? And why is there such a large disparity between what these men intended to do and what they actually accomplished? I'd like to tell you about the strangest secret in the world. In the world. In the world. I'd like to tell you about the strangest secret in the world. In the world. In the world.
So, I hope y'all enjoyed that one. What he's saying there is, there's a bunch of different things that we think about thought. But the most fundamental thing about it is that you're going to use it regardless. No matter if you feel you're thinking too much, no matter if you feel you ain't thinking enough, no matter if you feel like you don't want to think about that or this, you're going to use it. And so if that were the gas to your body or your car, you going to go far or you going to run out. You going to need a pit stop or you going to go a little bit further. I don't know, but there's plenty of work to be done. So this has been another, oh my bad, I'm banging my table. This has been another episode of Expansion Pack. I'm your host, Dan F. Man. I'm glad we came in here to talk about this because I'm going to spend a lot of time meditating. I got a week left on this Ark, Survivor Ark stream that I'm doing, so y'all make sure y'all drop in on that. I will not be doing office hours today, but I will be back tomorrow. Check out the Discord. If you are not a part of the Discord, hit me up on any of the social media I give to you, and I'll let you get in there. I do office hours at 10 a.m. in the Gold Farming channel underneath my DGTA server on Discord. So, hey, if you got any questions, if you want to do this yourself, I'm in there teaching. I'm showing you how. Tech Tuesday tomorrow. If you got any suggestions on topics, anything you want to talk about, anything you want us to talk about, feel free to hit me up and let me know. If you see me around, just tell me. And I think that's it. I think that's all the latest announcements. Y'all have a great day out there and stay safe, stay inside if you ain't got nowhere to go. So, let me say this. This is DGTA TV. Let me get y'all some background music as we go up out of here. Peace, baby. This is DGTA TV.